Welcome to the Squad Show. I'm Sam Ekstrom. Today, we've got stocking stuffers.
I'm Reggie Wilson, Carol 11 Sports Director. And Vikings, you have 24 hours to respond to what the Spurs did last night.
Fight Wemby.
Julia Daniels, Carol 11 Sports Reporter. Max Brosmer, this is your shot.
Every time a backup quarterback starts a game on Christmas Day, an angel gets their wings.
Skol! It's the Viking Squad. Everything Minnesota Vikings every week. Breaking down all the big hits and game-changing plays from the land of 10,000 lakes. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. It's time to gear up. The Viking Squad Show starts now.
What is up? Welcome to the Christmas Eve Viking Squad Show on Locked On Vikings, streaming live audio on the Locked On Vikings podcast feed, wherever you get your podcasts on the #1 sports podcast network. We're so glad you joined us today. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everybody. You met our Care 11 crew, Julia Daniels, Reggie Wilson, along with Ron Johnson, and I'm Sam Ekstrom. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Vikings football tomorrow at the bank against the Detroit Lions. We talk about Max Brosmer getting the start. What's at stake for Max in his second career start? What's the path to a Vikings upset with their rookie backup quarterback? And has there been an official changing of the guard in the NFC North with the likely division champion Chicago Bears? Also, Pro Bowl snubs for the Vikings. 0 a goose egg Pro Bowlers got elected yesterday. We start with the news from yesterday that J.J. McCarthy has a mild or minor hairline fracture in his hand. He is out tomorrow. Don't know what it means for Week 18. Could be the end of his season. 4th injury in 2 years that has cost him time on the field. So we turn the page to Max Brosmer. And Reggie Wilson, this is what a chance at redemption for Max Brosmer. Ron and I talked about it yesterday. His last name became a verb. He Brosmered hard in the Seattle game. The folly of him falling and flipping the ball to Ernest Jones for a touchdown will live in infamy. But he gets another chance. There's a redemptive arc to this. What is at stake for Max Brosmer on Christmas?
I actually never want to see that interception again. It is like so cringe, like at the point where it's like butt fumble levels, Nathan Peterman levels. Like you never want to go full Peterman. So I don't want to see it again. Interestingly enough, though, the Vikings made him available to us yesterday at TCO, and he just talked about how, can't think about that start anymore. Like, and he doesn't want to be defined by the worst start probably for a quarterback in a long time. And so I think he got some confidence coming into a game, because one thing Kevin O'Connell talked about yesterday too, sometimes you just don't have time to think. When the starting quarterback goes down, it's like, all right, Max, you're up. You just got to go in there and it's time to strap it on and just play ball. And so I think the good thing is he saw some good there. That last drive where he was able to, connect with Jets on the 21-yard pass on a weighty down, as Kevin O'Connell calls it, 3rd and 17. Like that was a big time throw. That gives you confidence. And I think Max said that going forward, he's just telling himself like to be slow, because usually you hear that, rookie quarterbacks, the game is too fast for them. And everything after his first start, it was like, oh, he was playing too fast. And it was just like, what? Like, they're like, yeah, he was getting to the right read, but he was doing it too fast. And, the windows weren't opening up and the passes were, getting picked off and all that. It's like, what? And so he said he told himself, just play slow. And I think, Max showed some good things in the preseason. Obviously, he showed enough that, the coaching staff and Kevin O'Connell wanted to keep him around and, eventually become the backup quarterback. And so, I think he has some tools if he could play on time, if he can be in a rhythm, I think he could do some solid things. Obviously not the strongest arm guy, but if he plays on time and in rhythm, we saw what even doing that just does for somebody like Phillip Rivers getting off the couch and playing for the first time in 5 years. He was awesome on Monday night, throwing those meat pies all over the field. And so, if he's able to be anticipatory and find his guys, doesn't hurt throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson. So he's got that going for him. So I think he could do some things if he could just get it together. But we don't want to talk about the Seattle game anymore. That is like long gone, and that is just a terrible thing that happened. He almost needs like that Men in Black stick where he's just like, wipe it from the memory.
Got to severance the memory of that Seattle game. I know Ron gets the Severance reference. Ron, this is a Christmas miracle for you. You get to watch a Gopher play for the Vikings on Christmas. And the matchup is just way more favorable for a rookie quarterback than in Seattle, one of the toughest environments against one of the toughest defenses. Now you're at home, no playoff pressure to speak of, and you're taking on a defense that I think I read has given up 450 yards per game the last 5 games. Maybe a little more room out there to operate.
Yeah, and Sam, I'm proud of you for the Severance reference. But yeah, it's one of those things where. So I think here's the thing. First of all, Max Brosmer went to that Seattle game without the quote unquote lesser pre-snap stuff to handle, right? Max Brosmer came into that Seattle game trying to do what Kevin O'Connell wanted, to be a McCarthy kind of like clone and say, hey, I can still can and kill plays. I can still renumber the mic. I can still alert if there's too many guys at the line of scrimmage. I can alert and do this and do that, right? Seattle, for the most part, rushes 5 to 6 every time, like Brian Flores, but the biggest difference is they run a ton of split coverage. When you slow it and dumb it down, you don't worry so much anymore about the front. You just worry about here's the coverage and here's where I'm going to go with the ball. You eliminate, as Kirk Cousins beautifully told us on the podium, you eliminate 2 right away. And I did that in the pregame show when I did the Daily 3, where if you can eliminate the 2 guys right away based off the high safety or single high safety, middle of the field open, middle of the field close, you can change your quick read to 1, 2, 3, right? Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody's like, oh man, he gets to 3, 4, and 5 so quick. Yeah, because he eliminated 1 and 2 based off the coverage. So I think that Max Brosmer now coming to this game is going to have more McCarthy-esque pre-snap, where it's not so much of like, hey man, figure everything out for me. It's going to be more so of let the center tell you which mic he wants to handle, and then from there, let's move on. And honestly, when you think about screenplays, right? Kevin O'Connell ran a ton of screens this game, even on third downs. Even the shallow to Justin Jefferson, if you watch it back, was a screen technically. It was in front of the line screen, borderline illegal screen, but he threw an under route to Justin Jefferson. And if you watch, Jordan Addison was already blocking the guy that was in the middle of the field before Justin Jefferson had the ball. So I think he knew too, like, hey, this is going to be a rub route we're going to throw to him. I think those plays are going to be prevalent this game against the Lions. I think Kevin O'Connell is going to try to do the same thing for Max Brosmer, and he wants to get Justin Jefferson his yards. Now, here's the cool thing for Max Brosmer. He's playing on Christmas Day on Netflix. Everybody in the world is watching. 2, this is probably the game Justin Jefferson goes for 1,000. Like, this is when he gets his 1,000, and that's whatever catch it is, that's the play that's going to get played over and over and over and over and over again, because that's the catch that got Justin Jefferson his whatever consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. So Max Brosmer is put into a cool position. The other side of that coin, though, right, as we talked about yesterday, Sam, is the Grinch. Hopefully the Lions don't play the Grinch on Max Brosmer's Christmas Day, because they could make this the worst day ever for him. Like, the Lions defensive coordinator could say, you know what? We saw what this guy did against Seattle. Let's just confuse the crap out of him. Let's just blitz him, and let's just go after him. Let's go cat blitz. Let's go safety blitz. Let's do some stupid stuff. Like, let's really make him just confused, where he's like, wait, that doesn't even make sense. You're right, it doesn't, rookie, but we're still going to do it because you might throw it to one of our other guys by mistake. The only thing we haven't seen from Max is a left-handed interception, and hopefully he doesn't do that. So I'm pulling for him. I'm excited. I got the oar behind me. I don't know if I'm gonna bring it to the stadium because it might be considered a weapon, but I'm looking forward to rowing the boat on Saturday.
Daniel, Thursday. Days of the week are all messed up.
Right.
Yeah, Julia, long term for Max. So he's a rookie. He was not supposed to be the backup. He was supposed to be the third string. That was Carson Wentz, but he defaulted into this position, and now he embarrassed himself in start number 1.
Yeah.
Start number 2 now. What is he playing for? Like, is he playing for an opportunity to be the 2 next year? Is he playing for his roster life next year? I mean, what is at stake for the man Max Brosmer long term with the Vikings?
I mean, he's playing for his career tomorrow, basically. Like you said, he's just kind of defined all the odds to be in the spot that he's in right now. This is a guy that, when he first got picked up by the Vikings, it was like, okay, this is another Tanner Morgan situation where he's just another body that they have in the building, just so that guys can get reps and he knows how to throw a ball. It's not something that like anybody's reading into too much. This is not something that, and I will say, like we covered Max obviously because we covered the Gophers, and so we had an idea of the talents that he has. But this is like somebody who's, the luck. I hate saying luck because I do think Max Brosmer works so hard and he does have skills and drive. But I do think at the end of the day, there has been a lot of luck that's gone into the situation that he's now in and the opportunities that he's had. And it's going to run out at some point. And so you have to prove yourself at some point in order to, and it's not like he's like, I don't think it's necessarily like, oh, I'm going to prove myself so that it can be like a Brock Purdy situation. I can be a starter. It's just like so that you can continue to be a successful backup in the NFL at this point. Like you want that number 2 spot. You want to, because, and I think something that like, maybe, I think people understand this, but like you can make a career out of being a backup quarterback. Like this is not something that like doesn't pay well, you know what I mean? And then you get to play football too. So this is all about, this entire season has been one long audition for Max Brosmer, and he has got to hit the nail on the head in his finale here. If this is the last time that we see him start this season. And so he's really got to take advantage of the opportunity at hand, because it's not just about like, do the Vikings want him as a number 2? This is like, do other teams that need a number 2 as well? Like they are going to be going back and seeing what he looks like in this game too, just moving forward. This is about his future, I think. Like, and not to be dramatic, but it is about his future. This is one of, he's not going to get every opportunity in the world, so he's got to take advantage while he can.
I'll make this point, Ron, and I can't remember, Reggie, if you were here yet. If you remember the Sean Mannion game, it was the exact same point in the season. I think it was the second to last game of the year. I think Kirk Cousins got COVID. Sean Mannion got a chance. He stunk. And there'd been so much hype about Sean Mannion. He's so smart. He's got this unbelievable arm. Let's see what he can do. It wasn't good, and he has not played since in the NFL. I don't think he's in the league anymore. Like he got a chance, it didn't go well, and he's out. You don't get unlimited opportunities, so there is a lot at stake. I don't think Julie is being overly dramatic. We'll talk about the path to a Vikings upset. Beyond just the quarterback, what needs to happen for the Vikings to win this game as a significant underdog against Detroit on the Squad Show coming up. Brought to you today by Prize Picks. Prize Picks allows you to cash in on the decisions you make. We make a lot of banal decisions every day. But at Prize Picks, when you make those correct decisions, you can get money. Don't miss the excitement of this sports season, of Christmas Day. I'm looking at the more or less on Max Brosmer yardage tomorrow. 182.5. You pick more or less on 2 or more player stats. That means you've put together an entry. You've done it. You can do it on 2. You can do it on 3, 4, 5, 6. Takes less than 60 seconds to put together that lineup. And if you want to do the flex play, maybe you get 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. You don't have to be perfect, and you still profit. The new stacks feature is awfully fun. You can rack up a single entry with one player's stats. So like Anthony Edwards, points, threes, and assists, for instance. There's also the injury reboot if your player gets injured early in the game. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's so good to be right. Squad show rolls on. No squad show tomorrow on Christmas Day, but we are here with you today, Christmas Eve morning. Ron Johnson, you'll be at the stadium tomorrow, of course, Vikings, Lions, and the Lions, at last check, were favored by 5.5 on FanDuel. That was prior to the Brosmer announcement. It's now 7.5. Lions are favored by 7.5. What are the steps?
Disrespect, man.
I know. More than a touchdown. What are the steps for the Vikings to pull this upset? Not just Brosmer being good, but what else needs to happen?
Yeah, so we know Jared Goff with this offense, they like to come out fast, but like not dangerously fast. They like to come out fast, meaning easy, quick completions to let Jared Goff. I mean, we've seen those games where he's 7 for 7, 8 for 8, 9 for 9, 10 for 10, and everybody's like, man, this guy's good. And then the game rolls on, and you're like, oh, okay, it's basically just we're just high-lowing one target, and we're taking the dump off. And so what Brian Flores, unfortunately, he doesn't have Josh Metellus. He doesn't have Grenard. So he's going to have to, and I'm starting with the defensive side, he's going to have to manufacture some pressure on Jared Goff without giving up coverage ability. And it sounds like a lot, but it's pretty simple when you watch the 40. I don't know if you guys watched the 49ers the other night with, shout out to Eric Kendricks, by the way, still doing it. When you watch the 49ers, and it's Robert Saleh. We know Robert Saleh's defense got him an NFL head coaching position. It just was in the worst place in the world, and it didn't last long. But when you look at Robert Saleh and what he's been able to do with that defense with the 49ers, it's simplistic rush with complex looks. And so what Brian Flores is great at that. He's just missing Grenard, which sucks because that's the guy that I feel like when he gets one-on-one, he's going to give you something. And so I'm looking for Dallas Turner. That's my key. Like, I'm looking for Dallas Turner because he's done it like the last 2 games. He's gotten sexy on that second move. We all talked about he would get engaged and he would just stand there, and everybody remembers that Eagles game because, I mean, in the press box, it was like the spotlight was on Dallas Turner because his back was to us. He was rushing, and then him and Lane Johnson just were doing the 2-step. Like, it was like R. Kelly was playing in his headset and he was stepping in the name of love because he just stood there. Fast forward now, he talked about like, yeah, I got to come up with this. I got to talk to Grenard about this. Van Ginkel told me this. Now you see him doing the spin moves. You see him doing the rip and then the pull. You see him doing the dip and spin and then the pull. I mean, he's putting multiple moves together. That's the key. I think you need to make it like the inside. So guards, centers, you need to make them nervous about that double cross. And when that cross happens, both guards and centers have to watch it. That leaves your tackles manned up unless the tight end's on one side. When you see that, Gink and Turner have to get to what's his name? Goff. And that's my key. Like, I think that's because, like, the offensive wise, I feel like the run game has been okay and pretty good, but we'll see what these running backs, you know, what their availability is tomorrow because it's a short turn for running backs to play on a Thursday. But the simple underneath passes, the quick stuff that he was doing with J.J. McCarthy, I think he's going to do it even more with Max Brosmer. So I feel like the offense should be okay. And the fact that they're going to force the ball to J.J. and the ball in his hands in open space is pretty, like, dynamic. I think it comes down to the defense. It comes down to the defense. Those defensive ends, when they have man coverage, they have to make Jared Goff nervous because I see a lot of Detroit fans that hate Jared Goff when he's nervous because that's the Jared Goff they think sucks. And I think that's where Brian Flores can take over.
They sacked Goff 5 times the last time they faced each other, Julia. You know, injury report peak as well. Obviously, you're already missing Grenard. You're missing Metellus. Offensively, Hawkinson hasn't practiced. Kelly hasn't practiced. Mason hasn't practiced. So you're going to be undermanned. And then Brian O'Neill as well. He's been limited. Same with Aaron Jones. You're going to be undermanned in this game. Detroit has everything to lose. You can eliminate them. They are going to come with a kitchen sink at you kind of urgency. So how do you stop that?
I think Ron hit the nail on the head there. Everything that I've read this week online is the doubt that anybody has, even after finding out that Max Brosmer is the starter for the Vikings, the doubt that anybody has about the Lions is 2 things. One, the defense is pretty weak and banged up at this moment in time. They're also like the 4th worst in keeping people from scoring through the air in the entire league. And so that's something that Max and I think Justin Jefferson will obviously be trying to take advantage of as he wants to finish the season out with a bang. But number two, it's just like everybody ends their, like, whether it's a betting article, whether it's just like somebody breaking down the game, it's like, but at the end of the day, we'll see, because everyone knows how Detroit plays when they're desperate, and it's not good. It's not good. Things are on the line. They freak out. They have a panic attack, and things just swirl in the toilet bowl until they go down the drain. And I think that that's something, I think that's a real thing. I think that that happens with this. And it's not like this tradition of, I mean, it is kind of a tradition of, but it's this organization as of late. Like, this is something that, like, when it comes down to the wire and they need a win, they just can't make it happen for some reason. They implode. And so I think that's something that, like, it should be taken into consideration, whether it's, no matter who's starting quarterback for the Vikings. I think that that's something that we've just kind of seen play out the past few years. And so that, and just like, yeah, a weak and banged up Detroit defense is something that I feel like this Vikings offense should be able to at least take a little bit of advantage of. But I think more so it's just like Detroit really knows how to wet the bed at times like these.
Reggie, your thoughts?
Okay, so I feel like I called it before the season that the Lions were going to take a step back. We got to go back to the archives, but
You did. We were talking about how the coordinators were all leaving, and you were like, something's not going to be right this year.
Ben Johnson leaves, and is going really well for him in Chicago with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, we were talking about it yesterday, just uncorked that thing and then put his hands in his hand warmers, like, as soon as he threw the ball. Like, that was, and then after he saw the touchdown, took his hands out and did the ice, like, that was cold. No pun intended. I thought that was awesome. But, you know, a lot of people have been complaining about Jared Goff. Like, Jared Goff has been who Jared Goff is for the entirety of his career once he got with Sean McVay on to now. Like, he's not necessarily statuesque, but he's not a guy who's going to extend plays. And I think I saw some Lions fans like, yeah, like, we need a quarterback who knows how to extend plays. And it's like, yeah, like, cool. You know, in theory, quarterbacks who can extend plays do better. But, like, I was just at the stadium last year, and they got the Jared Goff chant going. Like, vibes were good. But here's the thing. I feel like the rent finally came due. Kirby Joseph taking out all those kneecaps. Now his kneecap is taken off.
Ooh, the karma angle.
Yeah. I feel like they kind of sold their soul, you know, like they had a couple good seasons of just elite ball, you know, ever since Dan Campbell last year said, I'll see you in 2 weeks to Kevin O'Connell. Like, it just went downhill. It went downhill. It was, I think I saw RC, Ryan Clark said, like, you better win when you're supposed to. And they had the NFC Championship game insights in hand a couple years ago, and they messed it up. They had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They messed it up. Then last year, Washington, Team of Destiny, they sucked this year. But last year, they were just riding it all the way to the NFC Championship. And it's like, okay, you just got a good team on a good day, and they got you. But I remember when they lost in that playoff game last year, I was just like, these opportunities only come around ever so often. And it's just funny, all the secret sauce stuff that's been working for Dan Campbell, being aggressive and all that, like, it's not working how it was. And, you know, all these losses that they've piled up this year, I'm just like, this is not what we've come to know from a Dan Campbell team. Like, yeah, they're still playing hard, but, like, they're losing these games. Like, and that was just ultimate bad karma. Like, they call a touchdown on the last play of the game, and then they get called for a penalty on Amon-Ra at the top of his route, and you're just like, dang, like, so it was a touchdown, but it's wiped off, and then that's it, game over. And it was just like, wow, like that's how it ends. Like, just some bad karma for Ron's Detroit team up there. And so I think this game is gonna be interesting. Just to your question of a pathway to an upset, if they could, the Vikings could run the ball consistently and keep it third and manageable for Max Brosmer. And then if the defense could just continue to play how they've played the last 7 weeks or so, like, I think they give themselves a great chance to be successful at the bank on Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah, no passing touchdowns allowed this last 6 weeks. Unbelievable. I would venture to say, even though Ben Johnson's having a lot more success at his new home, I think this might be more of an Aaron Glenn thing. I think they miss Aaron Glenn. You look at their offense is still top 3. It was top 3 last year. It's top 3 this year. It's the defense that has backslid. And last year's defense was way more banged up, I think, and they still found a way to get some results. This year's not been the case. Also, fourth downs. Reggie hit that. Fourth down offense, 20th in the NFL compared to 7th last year. Fourth down defense, 26th defensively. They were second last year. So the weighty downs, KOC and his weighty downs, that could come into play big time on Thursday. I got my days mixed up too.
Thursday tomorrow.
Hey, Sam, I do want to say one thing though, right? So one, Ryan Kelly looks like he is out now. You got, what's his name? Both running backs are questionable. So the answer to this one too is 100% Max Brosmer to Justin Jefferson. Like, I'm hoping there's a connection there in some type of like Christmas tree, no coal in the stocking type of feeling, where, because there's a lot of kids. Like, I talked to the Vikings yesterday about tickets, and we were just looking at different options, and the amount of people that are trying to resell their tickets, I hope that it's more of the like, well, I didn't know, like, because I hope it's not one of those like stadiums where we walk in, it's like, man, where is everybody at? Like, where'd all the people go? Because, this is still one of those things where, you want to have a good showing for Christmas on Netflix. I know Netflix was big on this when you talk about the player shoes and all the stuff going on. But also to Reggie's point about Ben Johnson, the biggest change, and this is where Dan Campbell, I think why he took over the offensive play calling, they don't know how to run the ball with innovation. Like, Ben Johnson runs the ball with innovation. When you think about the zoom screens, the Zorro screen, or sorry, zoom motions, the Zorro motions, the whip return motions, like, he does a lot of stuff that makes you think this is some type of pass, and it's just a run. Like, he also does the little quick toss in front where it'll be a running back coming or a receiver coming. It's a pass, but it's a run. Like, I wish that was out when I played, because, oh man, I could have had a bunch of those. Like, but those were considered runs because they were behind the line of scrimmage. But now a quarterback can catch it and just toss it forward, and that's a run. But it's still a pass for the quarterback, and those don't go into the passing yards. It goes into the yak. But that's the biggest difference. The Bears have like a top 3 or top 2 rushing offense, which Caleb Williams is pretty much playing the same as he did last year. He just has a run game now. So he doesn't have to stretch it on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. He's always in like 3rd 2, 3rd and 3. Like, he has manageable third downs. And I think that's the other key to this is, like, Dan Campbell's third downs right now, or second downs, they're weird. Like, it's almost like he's trying to get innovative, but he doesn't really know how. I saw a GIF or a meme, I don't know which one it was, of the coach from The Water Boy. And it was Dan Campbell though, but they were saying this is Dan Campbell without Ben Johnson. It was the coach from
He's
The Water
having a
Boy.
nervous breakdown with
Yeah, like when he didn't have his play caller anymore, he's like, oh, what do I do? I got to steal some plays. I got to do, like that is kind of Dan Campbell. He's kind of like, what do I do now? Oh, let me kick a field. No, I don't want to kick a field goal. Let me go for it. 4th and 10. Let's go for it. Like, like he does some of the dumbest stuff, and it's like it was his bravado, the bite the kneecaps. That was he lived on that. But you can live on that when you're in 4th and 2, 4th and 1, because Ben Johnson's putting you in 3rd and 3. Now you're in 3rd and 7. you end up in 4th and 4. It doesn't say go for it. It says kick the field goal, but he doesn't know that because I don't think he knows what analytics are. Like, I don't think seriously, it's not a joke. Like, I really don't think he knows. Like, I think he's like just a frat boy that's like, okay, let's throw a beer back. Let's do this. Like 4th and 4. Right? What? Coach, we're at the 30. Let's just kick the field goal. So I'm hoping he does some dumb stuff like that. I'm hoping like 4th and 7 from the 40 or the 30, he decides to go for it just because he feels like he has to. Like, it's gonna be
Ron, you're to your point. The vibes are not great either.
No,
they had an offense the last several years where they figured out how to maximize Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. And I don't know if you saw, but Montgomery is posting these cryptic Instagram stories where he's just his jersey. Jersey and pads were just like at the top of the locker, and people were just like, "What does it mean? What does it mean?" And then you kind of look at his usage, and you're like, "Oh, like it's not the same." Like they've been heavy Jahmyr Gibbs, and Gibbs has been playing really well, but the kind of the secret sauce to them was just like, "Oh man, like you might get this thunder and lightning like combination." They haven't captured that same essence. That being said, Christmas Day can come and all of a sudden, like they can run all over the Vikings somehow, because the last game they did bottle them up. This game, they're coming off a game where they were letting Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary run all over them. So, it could change up, but they haven't been the same running team as they have been in the past that really set up some of those explosives, as Kevin O'Connell would say.
Yeah, not as complimentary. Go ahead.
They're just not like – I remember asking – I think I asked TJ Hawkinson when they played Detroit earlier this year. I was like, how do you prepare for the aggressiveness that Detroit is known for? And I feel like that tone that they used to set like right when games would start has just kind of dwindled this year. It's not something where people are like, oh, Detroit's coming. Now it's less so like – strategic aggression and more so just like out of hand in a way, where you see guys getting fines and getting like fights are happening and things like that. But it's not so much just like smash mouth football that's like, you're like, oh, this is good football. They're just a very aggressive team. This is what they do. That's not something that I like at this point in the season would go into a pregame scrum and ask a player right now when Detroit's coming to town. It's no longer a, how do you meet the aggression that Detroit brings? It's just not. I don't think that's who they are much anymore. I think that in that sense, like the light has faded a little bit in terms of like, because I just remember like last year and the year before that, I was like any Detroit game, like you wanted to watch Detroit play because it was so entertaining, and it's just not really that this year. I don't know if that's just me or.
No, to your point, Julia, I remember last year they went into San Francisco and they were depleted, and Dan Campbell was like, "Yeah, that's fine. Let's, we're just gonna go do it." And they went in there and they took it to the Niners in their house, and it was like, okay, this is the identity of a Dan Campbell football team. Like they're gonna go in. It doesn't matter who they're down, what's going on in their locker room. They're gonna come out here and they're gonna punch you in the mouth, and that's not the same thing this year.
But Sam, here's the one thing too, a nerdy stat for you. Last year in the NFL, third downs, the Lions had the best to go, meaning they had the least amount of yards of every other team to go on third down on an average. This year, it's 7 yards to go on third down on an average, which that's way too much for a team that doesn't really run the ball as much. Also, the gap between third down and then yardage gained was an average of 1 yard left on fourth down. So that's why they were that team. This year, their average is almost 2.5 yards. So it is. I mean, it sounds like that's only like a yard and a half. 4th and 3 and 4th and 1 is a huge difference in the NFL. And I think that's what's going on right now too, is Dan Campbell in his mind was used to that team from last year, and he's trying to like implement it this year, and it doesn't work when you're not making your third downs favorable. Like he doesn't understand how to make his first and second downs really aggressive and really successful. And then third down, he's trying to get it back and he's not getting it back. And then on fourth down, he's like, screw this. This is what I'm about. I'm going for it. And he's a guy I think that's reading his own headlines.
I ask this question when we come back from break. Has the baton officially been passed to the Bears in the NFC North, or is it anybody's ball game for these next few years? We talk about that next on the Squad Show. Quick break. All right. We came into the season with a 3-team division, we thought. We thought that the Packers and the Packers and Lions would vie for the title. The Vikings were third. Bears were last in odds. And it is flipped around. The Bears could win the NFC North. I think the Bears are still in contention for the 1 seed, which is nuts. They're winning much in the way that the Vikings won back in 2022, which is by the skin of their teeth, remarkably, miraculously. So, Julia, are you prepared to give the Bears the keys to the NFC North? Or is it in your mind a total crapshoot in this division now for the next couple of years until someone kind of gets back to where the Lions were? The Lions felt like they had an absolute stranglehold for 2 years. How do you handicap it now in this division?
No, I don't think. I think it is so similar to 2022. We talk about this all the time, which would tell us that no, the Bears do not have a handle on this division. I think it's, would you say a crapshoot? I think it is a crapshoot. I think it is going to be a year-to-year thing, which is that's how you want your division to be anyways. You want it to be anybody's ball game. And I think it's like nobody is there's no team in the division, the Vikings included, that I'm just like, wow, they're just like a gauntlet compared to anybody else around here. I think the Bears, I don't believe in the Bears yet. I just don't. I think even if they were to go far in the postseason, which I don't think that they will, I still don't believe in the Bears. It's not something, especially when you have a first-year head coach, you don't know how sustainable whatever it is that they built. But that's also how the NFL works. I mean, unless you have, like a Tom Brady on your team. But that's completely different. This is not the case. This is not the case here. It's just there's nothing about the Bears that you're like, yes, this is something that, while Caleb Williams, obviously a great quarterback, this is his first real breakout year. So it's not like you're going to sit there and until you see somebody do something consistently over and over again, that's when you start to have faith and trust in them. But there's nothing about the Bears that I'm like, absolutely, this is like 100% sustainable and unstoppable. And this is why they should be kings of the North for years to come. No, none of that. There's nothing convincing me of that. I think every team has something fresh and something new about them. And I think it's almost like everybody's sort of in an adjustment period in a way. And so, no, I'm not ready to give the Bears that title in any way, shape, or form. I think it's going to be at least 2 or 3 years from now of successful football that then I would start to say, okay, the Bears got something going here.
Yeah, Reg, I could quite easily see the Lions recapturing the division next year. I think the Packers are still really good. I think it is anyone's division. I also think the Vikings will be the underdog on FanDuel in about May after the draft. I have a feeling because of the quarterback situation, unless they go trade for Joe Burrow, I think the Vikings are probably 4th in the North right now. Not to say they can't bounce back next year and win it.
Yeah, I agree with Julia. I feel like it is probably going to be a year-to-year thing. Now, if 9 is just able to capture some health and some consistency, like they're going to be a team that you're going to have to deal with every year with the Vikings. And so I can see the Vikings kind of competing for that top spot every year if they can figure out this quarterback situation. Kevin O'Connell called it a bummer because he felt like, with JJ McCarthy's development, they're kind of he was turning a corner and really starting to learn some things that they would talk about earlier in the season, and he could call it back and really kind of diagnose it better as things have gone on. And it is tough. Like, you get the footwork stuff and mechanical stuff out of there, and it's funny, like McCarthy's been pretty accurate with the football, and so I think that's been something that it's like, man, if you stop preaching this overcoaching and fundamentals and your feet and your eyes and all that stuff and just let them play ball, I wonder if they're in a different situation right now. Because you mentioned the Sean Mannion thing. I was in Green Bay. I had COVID. I was supposed to be at that game. Kirk Cousins had COVID. I had COVID. I was watching from the hotel room, watching Sean Mannion stink it up. But in that game, they actually still had a chance to make the playoffs. And once they lost that game, it was over. And you look at this Vikings team, if they win at least one of two, or maybe the Ravens and the Bears game, you're talking about a team that is still competing for a playoff spot at this point in time. And now it's the exact same situation. Max Brosmer as Sean Mannion against a division rival, that time Green Bay, this time Detroit. And so I know it's an aside, but I think with the Bears, I kind of look at them kind of like the Commanders last year. Like they struck fire at the right time. They're winning some games. And this is just how this year is going. But you got to see that consistency. But, I mean, Ryan Poles, proven prophetic maybe, at his introductory press conference, he said, we're going to take the North and we're going to never give it back.
Prove it, Ryan, for the next 5 years. Then I will deem you correct. Ron, is Spice Adams going to be gloating for the next 5 years? Are the Bears going to own the North? I'm skeptical.
I don't know about the next 5 years, but I do think the next 3, when you look at the contracts of the offensive line, right? So they bring in Joe Thuney, and I think that's the biggest thing. When you improve the offense, Ben Johnson did exactly what the Lions did, which is make the offensive line really, really good, really, really strong, really, really stout, smart as well. They brought in 2 new offensive linemen, guards particularly, well, can't say that word. But they brought those guys in to really shore up that pocket presence for, what's his name, Caleb Williams. Because here's the thing about Caleb Williams. Last year, 87% or whatever, 87 passer rating, 89 this year. 6 interceptions last year, 6 interceptions this year. 41 last year. This year, he's on pace. He's at 3,400 yards. So he is going to have a similar season to last year. The biggest difference, and I go back to it, is the run game. The run game is sustainable. Like if you can run the ball, you can be really good for a long time. If you think about Belichick, right? Guys like Lawrence Maroney, those names don't really ring bells, but those were names that got them to the Super Bowl. Those were the names that got them 18-0 because they still were able to run the ball. Now, yes, they did get Randy Moss. They did have, all these other weapons, but it was primarily like the offensive line for the Patriots was really good. And the run game was solid, not great, solid. It was able to keep Tom Brady from not having to throw the ball 80 times a game. And I think that's where the Bears are at. They're like, look, we're going to be the bully. We're going to be the team that's going to come out here and put pressure on you, but we're going to make it easier on our quarterback. When you look at Caleb Williams on first and second down, I think that's where he's improved the most. Sorry. Because when you think about the ability to get the ball to DJ Moore quick, the ability to and who did they go get, Sam? Your guy, Colston Loveland. Like Colston Loveland has made it very, 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 very sexy for his quarterback. Now, we have a tight end. I don't know if anybody's seen him. I saw a couple milk cartons with his face on it, but like that's the other key. Like literally, the Lions had Laporta. They had 2 running backs. They had a really good offensive line. It's the same. Like Ben Johnson took Antoine Randall and said, "Hey, work with my pass guys. Here's what we're gonna do. You're the pass game coordinator. Defensively, this is what I want you to do. You can bend, but don't break, because their defense is not good. I mean, they turned the ball over a crap ton. Like they had 31 takes this year.
Crazy.
That's the other big key. But they're still like 24th in like a lot of metrics, like run, total yards, points. Like they're not a great defense. That's like, and this is similar to the Lions. They just run the ball. So one, that bleeds the clock. And then it allows Caleb Williams every once in a while to be special, like Reggie said. He put his like that throw and then putting his hands in his thing. One, he had been doing that the whole game though. If you go back and watch, he kept doing that because it was cold out. So like that's. But of course, like like all TV stuff, when you catch that moment, let's ride that horse till it's dead. And but he had been doing that all game. He had been making throws and hurting putting his hands because it was freezing. And somebody said, I forgot the hand warmer thing he had in there, but there's these electric hand warmers now that like are battery powered, which my wife has 2 of them. They are awesome. Best thing ever. They're way better than those little shaky things. Like they hook into stuff and then you can just hold your hands against it. So, but anyway, he was great. And the coverage, like it was split coverage. He knew they were in quarters. And just like Mina Kimes said, shout out to Mina Kimes for calling this out before, because a lot of people don't understand quarters. You can take the top off. Sick of that argument. He realized it was split coverage, quarters to one side, man in the other. Who also got that coverage, Sam? Max Brosmer against the Seahawks. But we didn't run the right. But we didn't run the right play. Like you got to run the right play. And Ben Johnson ran the right play. He ran a deep post with DJ Moore. There's the other quarters guys are sucked up by the tight ends. There's nobody backside because the front side quarters defender is worried about the comeback. It was great. It was a great play call. And Caleb Williams now put that in the Louvre, as the Bears fans would say.
Coach JB said you can't beat quarters with a post.
I'm not saying names. I'm not saying names. I know Mina Kimes said you could take the top off, and I know you can because I scored my longest touchdown in my college history against Indiana against quarters. It was an 82-yard post because the safety bit on the tight end, and there's nobody covering that middle quarter now because he jumped it. That's because the outside guy stayed back, and now it's a foot race, which I'm not the fastest, but if you give me a head start, I'm going to outrun you to the end zone. So my longest touchdown against Indiana was quarters coverage, deep post against Antoine Randall. By the way, Randall probably remembered that and said, let's do this with the Bears.
Alabama is actively scouting that video. Julia actually is sending them in the video right now, so they have that on tape. They're like, all right, okay, this Indiana defense susceptible to the deep post against quarters. We saw Ron Johnson do it back in 2000.
Signetti still doing it. By the way, is Ryan Williams out or what is going on with him?
I don't know.
Like
he's got a week. But I don't know.
Well, I didn't see, he hasn't done much. So that's why I was
wondering. No, I don't think he's hurt.
He just hasn't done much.
Yeah, he's
hurt.
He's had a sophomore slump this season.
Because I was looking for like sexy plays and all this stuff, and then you see like number 17 pop up. I'm like, where's Ryan Williams at? So
yeah.
Christmas Eve episode concludes with our biggest Vikings Pro Bowl snub and bold predictions for Thursday.
Sorry, and this is not the Alabama show, though, but I will say I just Googled it quick. Ryan Williams has drop problems. He's been dropping the ball.
Yes.
So, yes, because they just said, and I said the guy's number. I don't know his name, number 17. It's a picture of number 17, and it says, Alabama has found a solution to Williams' problems in dropping the ball. And it comes by the way of a freshman. So, yep, okay. So, there's my answer. Ryan Williams, I'm not going to make any jokes about his hands. I'm going to let it go.
I mean, we can't make jokes on a Vikings show. The Vikings receivers can't hang on to the ball either.
Nope.
No one made the Pro Bowl. Nobody made the Pro Bowl. Who was the biggest?
And I have something to say about it.
Okay, Julia, you let him hear it. Let's go on your soapbox.
Hello, why was Will Riker not selected to the Pro Bowl? Hello.
He's not old enough to go.
Hello.
Brandon Aubrey got clearly outkicked by our dude.
And he still made the Pro Bowl. What's happening here?
Will Riker should start dating Sydney Sweeney. That's how you get to the Pro Bowl.
Will Riker has a wife, okay?
Hey.
I mean, 27 of 29 for field goals. Perfect on PATs. 9 of 11 kicks from 50-plus yards. And one was a miss due to that sky cam in London.
Didn't he hit a wire?
Maybe the other two. Yeah, maybe the other kick was too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, though. I'll say this, and somebody did this the other day on Twitter. Name 10 other kickers other than Will Riker. You can't do it. So, nobody knows the kickers of other teams unless you cover the team, and that's the problem
Vikings fans, you got to cover for your guy.
You do. No, you're 100% right. I'm just saying the way this Pro Bowl is set up, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
is they took it away from the players. It used to be players only and then coaches. And that way we all, like all the coaches, the NFC North players, like they all would have been like, oh yeah, this Riker kid is killing it. The fans don't know what real Riker. It's like whatever fan base is going to have the most votes, then you got the player vote, then you got, it's such a popularity contest. Other than Justin Jefferson, like his stats killed him this year.
Am I a sicko if I can name 10 kickers?
Yeah, you are a little bit. Okay. I mean, Young Wei Koo, trying to think who else.
You picked him first out of all the kickers
because I like his name. it's memorable. Like,
of course it is, Ron. Of course it is.
All right, let's do this. Name 10 kickers. Ready? And you can't name other than Reichert. Ready, set, go.
Other than Reichert. Okay. Chase McLaughlin, Matt Gay, Harrison Mevis, Nick Folk.
Went with Mevis there.
Blake Groupie, Charlie Smith, Brandon McManus. Dang it! Now with the pressure on,
with the money where his mouth.
How many is that?
How many was that?
That's more than I could name.
That's 7.
That's 7.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Zane Gonzalez, because he does the hair thing.
There's
Eddie
one
Pinheiro.
that I know, but I only know it because of
Pinheiro.
the jokes I keep seeing on social media.
Let's see. Who else? Fitzgerald in Carolina.
Fitzgerald. Ryan Fitzgerald. Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Fitzgerald in Carolina.
That's 10.
That's 10. Bam.
You didn't even say Harrison Butker. Wow.
Who is that?
No, the one that sticks out in my mind, and the Vikings played him, but it was the joke.
Exactly. Who is that? Right.
Cameron Dicker.
Dicker the kicker.
Oh yeah, Dicker the kicker. Yeah.
Dicker the kicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, Reggie, you got me there but see, yeah, you're a sicko. Like nobody unless sorry. So I'll say like, prop bet sickos, they know the kickers because they love to take those field goal prop bets.
People with gambling problems,
Jake Bates with the Lions. But that's the problem is like, I know the NFC North guys because we play them. I know Cameron Dicker because of his name and Young Wei Koo because I love the name. Is he still with the Falcons, by the way?
No, he got cut by the Giants.
Okay.
I feel like he has bounced around a lot.
See, I don't even know if he's a kicker. I just know his name is Young Wei Koo, But he's going to be with Lil Wayne next week. Like, he's coming out for the Super Bowl halftime show. Young Wei Koo.
Oh, I didn't even say my guy, Evan McPherson in Cincinnati.
I was waiting for that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a popularity contest. It's a vote thing. Talking about the snub, though, Justin Jefferson wasn't snubbed. I hate to say it. Like, you look at the names that made it, like JSN, there's no way you can put Justin Jefferson only, and even like George Pickens. Like, George Pickens deserves it. Like, it's a tough year for NFC receivers because it's so many good ones, but it's a bad year. I think, what does Justin Jefferson have? 2 touchdowns? Yeah. Like, that if he had made it, that would have like hit the airwaves. Like, they would have crushed the Pro Bowl voters if they put Justin Jefferson, because him and Jamar Chase didn't make it either, right? Or did he make it?
No, he did
for the AFC. I didn't look at the AFC name.
Jamar Chase made it.
Okay, well, but he had a better year though. He did. He still had a good year, a decent year. But yeah, Justin Jefferson 2 touchdowns. Like, blame JJ McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell, and Max Brosmer. Like,
yeah,
that's who you blame. You can't, But I will say Will Riker definitely was snubbed. Like, every commentator talked about how cold-blooded he is as a kicker. Nobody knows him though. Like, he's a babyface assassin. Like, nobody knows him.
No.
Jake Elliott for the Eagles too.
That's a good one.
Reggie's gonna wake up at 3 a.m. and go.
I know, I feel like one of those commercials, like State Farm commercial.
Will Lutz. Honey.
That's who I was thinking of. Will Lutz in Denver. Yes.
He's gonna wake up. Matt Prater. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Cairo Santos. Oh, okay.
Yes. Why couldn't I think of Cairo? Okay.
That's like a Vikings commercial though. Like, it'll be like a no-name kicker for the Vikings, and they kick it and miss wide right, and then like all the Vikings fans wake up in a cold sweat, like, whoa, okay, we still have Will Riker. We have Will Riker. Like,
tonight, Reggie, you will be visited by 3 ghosts of kickers past.
Oh
haunting your
no.
dreams.
Who was the Vikings kicker with the Seahawks? Why am I drawing a blank on his name?
Blair Walsh?
Blair Walsh. Start lifting too much weights.
Yep.
Yeah, Blair Walsh. Start.
Oh, Carlson. I didn't mention Carlson. He's
Oh
from
yeah, Daniel Carlson. We cut him too soon.
You got half the league now, Reg.
All right,
you're
cool.
good.
I'm good.
You established your authority as the
kickers.
expert.
Name 10
say,
long snappers though. Name 10 long snappers.
Absolutely not. I will say, Eric Wilson, Jalen Redmond probably had a chance. I saw Micah Parsons got selected, so he's not going to go, obviously. So maybe one of those two guys get in.
Eric Wilson, and you're right. The problem with Jalen Redmond though, Reggie, same thing. Nobody knows him. Like
exactly, yeah.
Like
but
Eric Wilson's been in the
though.
league for a while, so he might have a chance. But yeah, Jalen Redmond, nobody knows. It's so hard when you're that defensive lineman, you're not a first round, second round pick, because then if he was a first, second round pick with these stats, he'd be in the Pro Bowl. I guarantee it, because they would have been talking about him this whole time. Like the Vikings draft, look at how they drafted so great. Well, they picked up a great free agent. Like why not give them that credit?
Yeah, somebody posted one of those quadrant charts. It was like the higher you are, the more run stops you have, the further over, the more pressures you have. And Redmond, it's like
he was
Redmond,
way in front of
Cameron
everybody.
Hayward, Byron Murphy, Leonard Williams, Jordan Davis. I mean, he's with the elites this season, having an elite season. And
Just
the
wasn't a first round pick.
Yeah. Yep. Vikings should lock him up right now to an extension. Let's do some bold predictions to end the show. I've got a little stocking here.
Oh, okay.
Look, Santa left a scroll, a Christmas scroll. What did he write here? It says, oh my goodness. Well, first of all, we got some little snowman friends on the front, but on the back it says Max B 3 TDs.
3 touchdowns.
Now, you might think that D in TD is an O, 3 turnovers. That might also be right. I think Santa was covering his bases there. He was hedging his bets. So if it's 3 turnovers, he was right. If it's 3 touchdowns, he was right. That's the bold prediction, courtesy of Santa Claus. What's Ron got there? Ron's got a stocking.
It's my stocking, yeah. And ours are sexy, glittery. Yeah, it's
delicate looking stocking.
Yeah, it's nice. You know, it's old school. It's like what they got when, you know, back in the I think the 1800s, or 1900s, like earlier, like really nice old school, like Aunt Mammy
Renaissance stock.
Yeah, but it's got our letters on it for everybody in the house. So yeah, but let me know it's my turn. Sorry.
You go ahead, since you've got the stocking, you got the sock. Let's keep this rolling.
I forgot to bring the prop. I was like, oh yeah, I still have it sitting out there. So, in my stocking, my prop is Max Brosmer. Wait, what did you? Sorry, what was yours? 1 TD, Sam, or what was yours?
3
TDs. Oh shoot, you took mine. All right, let me change mine up. Max Brosmer, the 3 TDs. I see your 3 TDs, and I raise you 250 yards passing.
Wow. All right.
Yeesh.
Hey, it's Christmas. Christmas miracles happen all
Christmas
the time.
miracle.
Julia.
I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, 2 touchdowns.
Doubling his output.
For Christmas. Let's go. Better now than ever.
Dang it,
will the-
that was mine. Dang, I got to change it up too now. Okay.
TJ Hawkinson will get a catch.
Yeah, well, that can happen.
Write that down. Write that down.
He might not play.
He might not play. He'll catch it, though. He'll catch an errant throw to the sideline.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Dallas Turner, 3 sacks.
That's bold.
That's very bold.
Good one.
He's in a fierce battle for the sack lead, I want to say. I would have to check.
I think he's at
with
5.5.
Wilson. Yeah.
The
Which
sack
who would have put
leader
that?
right now.
Who would have put that at the beginning of the year? Dallas Turner might lead the team in sacks.
Well, Eric Wilson's the leader right now, 6.5. Jalen Redmond second. How about that parlay of the top 2? Wilson
No matter
and
what
Redmond.
Dallas Turner does the rest of the season, though, it's going to come with an asterisk. Even if he ends up with 8 sacks, leads the team, it's going to be an asterisk. Like they're not going to give Kwesi credit for that pick. They're going to say Grenard was hurt and so on and so forth. But hey,
Yeah, it's true, but also Turner's been getting better.
he's been getting better. He has. He's getting way better.
Julia doesn't want any more Alabama disrespect on this show. She's had
Yeah,
it.
come on, guys. I've had it. I'm up to here.
It's not my fault Ryan Williams can't catch.
It's not my fault either, and I'm really mad at him about that.
I was wondering what was going on because I was watching the game and I'm like, what? Why are they throwing it to him? And now it makes sense because
they don't trust him.
They don't trust. That's sad too. When you're a sophomore, and they don't trust. But yeah, you're right. Hopefully it's a sophomore slump because he's supposed to be a first round draft pick next year, so he's gotta fix that.
Best Christmas movie as we exit. Best film.
The Grinch, Jim Carrey's version, best Christmas movie that there is.
My hot take would be that that's the third best Grinch movie.
No, it's not.
I know he sat 8 hours in a makeup chair every day. I know, great sacrifice on his part, but I like the version where the Grinch is more nuanced and he treats his dog better.
My mom would say It's a Wonderful Life. I would say Home Alone or Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2.
Wait, 2 in New York?
Yes, that's the best one.
I was going to say
crazy.
Home Alone because we're going to watch that today. Our kids have kind of watched it, but I don't know if they've ever really watched it. But we're also nervous that we might give our 11-year-old daughter ideas in her mind that she might try to protect the house with nobody's coming.
All of a sudden you walk in here.
Right. Blow torch on the back of Ron's head.
We're stepping on tacks in the kitchen because she's upstairs in the room nervous that somebody was going to break in when she was home. And we're like, we just went to the grocery store. We're out of bacon. Relax. Home Alone. But one, it's this for me, and a lot of people might not have seen this one. This Christmas with Chris Brown, that one for me, I love that movie.
That's really good. That's pretty good.
Wonderful.
And Lauren London. Lauren London's in it too. So come on, it's a great movie.
Elf a close second. Love some Elf. Thank you for being here, everybody. A Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays to all who watch, listen, comment, and subscribe. And we will be back Monday with the Squad Show after Vikings Lions on Thursday. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And talk to you soon here.
Santa's
on the number one.
Roll the boat.
Merry Chrysler. Happy Honda Days.
Peace out.